Permissions.
I did.
Oh, I got the permissions.
You got it.
I got the permission.
Prior to you asking.
Permish.
Of course, I always forget. So
La permish.
Okay. I'm at the gym. I guess you're at the.
So am I.
I was like, I forget all my board stuff is at the gym. I was like, all right, honey, I'll see you later.
You didn't want, dude. I didn't even listen to the podcast to see how you feathered the sound effects in there.
I got it in, yeah.
And we had I'm Chase Ingram.
Yeah.
And alongside of me is Bill Grundler.
Yeah. Like mine came in, but it was like a little early, but yours was like spot on. So
dang. Nice. Nice.
Made it work. All right.
Light it.
I will hit record.
Light it. Oh, you're going to do it too? Okay.
2. Well, I record the audio.
No, I know.
3, 2, 1, go. With the programming, I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
And we're back, baby.
Dang, did you hear that? The synchronicity of the sound effects to the words? No.
I finally had the board with me this time.
That's so good. I mean, I will say this, like I've gone back and I've played with the different videos and stuff when I'm putting them up, and I know it's exactly 3 seconds between when you say your name and the sound effect. Because that's when I put up the little graphic of like you on there. It's the exact same time frame on each one. It's so funny. Like, dang, it's like every time. I don't even need, because the on the iMovie it comes up as a 4-second title.
Oh yeah.
And I always have to shrink it down, but I always shrink it down to exactly 3 seconds.
Huh.
And it fits perfect onto what you have there every time.
That's funny. Yeah, we're nothing but consistent, I guess.
Dude, seriously.
Cute hoodie, bro.
Like that? I got this when I was at the Norwegian CrossFit Championship.
Oh,
yeah.
So extra warm.
It's
what temperature is it in California right now?
Well, we went from summer to fall in about 12 hours.
Oh, okay.
So, where it's like normally the summer here is every day is 78 degrees, like just that's it. Yeah. And in the fall, in the beginning of the fall, it's like it will get cool in the evening time. But then still be warm during the day. So like you can wear the hoodie and you can wear like the puffy jacket if you want, the jeans, and then all of a sudden it's summertime, like the daytime, and it's like hot. And then like right now we have some little weird weather pattern coming through. It's this weird wind that's coming in, so it's some sort of tropical something. I don't know. We always get confused, but we're always kind of right in that realm of 72 to 80. I don't know.
What are those winds that come up from Mexico? What is that?
The Santa Anas.
Yeah. When does that happen?
So those are like the offshore winds. They can kind of happen anytime.
Okay.
Yeah. When you get they call them onshore or onshore breezes, meaning they're going, or offshore breezes. They're coming from the land onto the water. So instead of it being water cooled air, it's ground warmed air, and so it just gets a lot warmer. And that's like in California, that's you get those Santa Ana winds are blowing from that direction, from the east to the west,
hardcore,
and it blows and it's hot. So someone sneezes in the wrong direction, then all of a sudden we lose half the state every time. It's crazy.
Does that mess with the surf at all?
It's actually offshore is what you want because it stands the wave up. So if it's not too windy, I mean, it's one thing, like, I'll ride longboards mostly, but it will stand the wave up. So it won't just kind of crumble down itself. It'll stand up, and then you get those little hollow tubes. So those of you out there that know the stuff, it's like, yeah, bro, getting hollowed, gonna get barreled, But if my longboard and it's too windy, it just blows me off the damn thing. So it's like an airplane wing. So
that's funny. That's really funny. I'm just like looking at you on camera and you've got this nice hoodie on. Although I will say, when I was in California, gosh, was that 2 weeks ago? Yeah. It got so cold at night. Like once that sun went down.
Totally. That's what I mean. It's a trip.
Legitimately cold.
Yeah. Like fall's no joke about it. And that's one of the things that's kind of cool. Like the nice thing about fall, especially coastal, is it will cool down in the evening and morning times, once the sun goes down. And so that kind of keeps the fog away a little bit. So you'll wake up to these like super crisp, super like the sun's just cresting up over the the mountains, and it's coming up, and you get these awesome sunrises. And I mean, that's the fall here, at least where we are in San Luis Obispo. I mean, it's one of the best times of the year. So it's really cool. It's really cool. But I have to ask you, sidestepping from weather.
Ooh.
Like, what was it like being part of the most talked about podcast dude of all time?
That was okay. So if you guys have been living under a CrossFit rock or not a CrossFit rock, I got to interview Ricky Gerard for the CrossFit Games podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, that was really intense.
Well, I mean, dude, there was so much leading up to it. I mean, and I mean, me talking to you, us talking about it beforehand, it was like, what's it going to look like? I mean, there's expectations of what it should look like, could look like. Mm-hmm. What is it going to look like? I tell you what, I thought you did a great job. I thought you did a great job. The way you asked the questions, I think, were great. And in all reality, the way that Ricky answered the questions was, for the most part, exactly how he needed to answer them. I mean, someone standing back, I mean, I know that there are a lot of people out there that are just wanting to throw rocks at the glass houses. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's so elite and has never done anything wrong in their entire life. So, I mean, they want to burn them down. But I was happy that he answered the way that he answered. Mm-hmm. And I mean, again, like, what else can you do? I mean, you served your time. You said you did it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I personally, I don't even care that, like, everyone made the big deal about how he, called Matt out or whatever. It's like, man, it's sports. Everybody calls people out, and thank God someone is wanting to call the best of the best out. Like, at some point, like, this is what I like so much about Tommy Hackenbrook when him and Rich were still there. It's like,
Tommy was so
thank
fun.
God someone is out there. Like, you got to challenge the top dog. Otherwise, what's the point, man? We're not out here all to just slap each other's asses and be like, yeah, you're so great. God, this is beautiful and it's wonderful. No, call them out. Whether you like them or don't like them or whatever. Mm-hmm. I tell you, my point of view in the whole thing is, all the question about, did he redeem himself or whatever? Whatever. He served his time.
That is yet to be seen. I mean, that's a journey, right?
Yeah. I mean, he did what he needed to do, which was he served his time. Whether he owns up to it or not, really, I mean, honestly, has no bearing. Like, to me, he served his time. Now it's like, all right, step back out, test you again, and I'm glad he answered the way he answered. And again, like, I thought you did a great job. If you guys haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. It's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. You were the only person I told.
I'm on the inside.
Yeah, so I got asked by actually Justin Kotler. Asked me to do it. He didn't ask me directly. We actually had a conversation about Ricky.
Yeah.
And we probably talked for like an hour just on the phone. And he's like, "Hey, Ricky," I was like, okay, well, hey, I mean, listen, it's like weapons grade plutonium, if not carefully stored and packaged. And we had a talk, and we did a whole episode. I think it was maybe probably a year ago at this time, close to, because this is when Ricky came on the scene for the stage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Posting up his videos.
Yeah, we did it was a Programmatron episode.
Yeah.
So if you guys follow us on Patreon, where you guys can just, have a membership-based subscription to get exclusive content, we did a whole show on welcoming Ricky Gerard back, or should we? We had a long conversation. We even got some quotes from Dave Castro on there. If you guys want to hear his thoughts, go to, if you are a Programmatron or a Patreon supporter, go there, patreon.com/get with the program. If not, sign up and it's worth the $6 just to listen to Dave's thoughts. He actually
totally
provided some clips on that. And we were both in the same boat. It's like, there's a huge if. No matter what your problem is with Ricky personally, not you, anybody.
Anybody, I got you.
Or not, I feel like it centers around the big if of if he's clean and if he's been clean over the last 4 years. And whether you like him or not, who gives a shit? Like, that's just your own personal opinion. You don't have to like everybody. I don't think you should, because then you're not true to yourself. Like, there's just
that's not sports, man. That's not sports.
Yes, exactly. It's like I sports hate lots of people. I don't hate people. I don't think there's anyone in this earth that I actually hate.
Yeah.
But there's people I actively root against. I'll say that.
Totally. Totally.
Like, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I hate the Giants, I hate the Eagles, and I hate the Redskins.
Yeah.
Sports hate them.
You mean the Washington State football team?
Yes. Sorry. Did I say the Redskins? Sorry. No. 39 years of... It doesn't make it okay.
Washington State.
The Washington football team. Excuse me. I apologize. They need to get a name. Oh, they will have. I think they'll have one next year. Anyways, I hope they lose every game. And when they play each other, I hope they tie. Although that's better than a loss. So, like, maybe they split the loss because they play twice a year. Whatever.
Everybody breaks their leg on the field.
The point is, you don't have to like Ricky.
Right.
That's not the point. The point is with the interview was, it was hard, dude. I don't know if I came across how stressed out I was about it.
No, I will say this.
I think when we talked off chat,
okay,
I was definitely way more nervous because, people have been wanting to hear from him, whether they just want to hear from him so they can shit on him again, or they just want to hear from him. It's been 4 years.
Well, dude, he's the biggest name we've had. The biggest name that's been popped that's come back. And honestly has at least appeared to come back with a vengeance. Everyone else that got popped, bye. Haven't heard of them anymore.
They disappeared, or it's
like, my time's done. I'm over. I'm out.
They're too old.
Like, I will say this, like, the fact that he was so young and he still is young.
Right.
Like, there are people who start their careers at this time.
Yeah.
So
I think Rich started at like 27. Matt started at about 27.
Yeah.
I think that right around there, that 26, 27, like, that's prime fitness level.
Yeah.
And, I was just talking to before, it's like, I'm curious to see what he does.
Totally.
And if he's clean, I would love to see him, like, have his own redemption story, right? It's the interview wasn't like, hey, it's all good, bro. You are redeemed. Like, not even for me. I was like, listen, I don't give you a pass for what you did. And he doesn't give himself one either.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a chance now that you've come clean. And
yeah,
I was super nervous because I didn't want... There's a fine line to walk between not being like a puff piece. It's like, oh, we'll just ask him all the soft questions and we'll make CrossFit look good. And I didn't want to just be like, this, like,
how dare you do this to our sport?
Yeah, some like self-righteous. And I was like, listen, we're just going to, and I told him before this, and I didn't tell him what the questions were. I just gave him topics.
Yeah.
We're talking about the games, regionals, documentary, your brother.
Yeah.
Off season and whatever, right?
Yeah.
I didn't give him any questions. He heard all his questions for the first time. But they're all questions that people had for the last 4 years. 1, 2, these are all the answers that we needed. And he answered them. Now, he didn't answer them with a lot of, like you said, a lot of words, which is probably better.
Dude, 100% better, because if you add
so short,
if you add words, then it's like, I'm sorry, but. And so now you're not sorry. You're justifying. You're justifying what it is that you're doing. So did you do it? Yes. Done. Right. Like, literally, that was all. That was perfect. And you guys don't know this. We and Chase were talking about this, and you brought up the point of the Oprah Lance Armstrong interview.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, like in our realm, that is exactly the model to choose from of any PED busted athlete interview. I mean, of all the ones that have been nailed, it's like that's the one, because it came off just like what you did. 4 pointed questions, boom.
For the 4.
Okay, now we did it, and now we can talk.
Yeah. Did you do it at the games on purpose, like intentionally? Yes.
Yeah.
Did it regionals? Yes. Did you do it before that? No. Have you done it since? No. Okay. Now we can talk. Now let's talk. Right? Because like, what else? Honestly, at that point in time, is like, what else do you have to lose? Honest, like, what do you have to hide? Nothing.
Yeah.
And so, I thought he did. I thought he did a good job. Like, Ricky is a competition floor. Ricky is very obviously brash. Out, like
totally.
Competition Ricky is a different beast than like personal behind the scenes Ricky. Like, that dude is an introvert. He doesn't like the camera on him. He doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't want to answer these questions.
Yeah. Who
because he doesn't want to relive it.
Yeah.
But he did. And so now that he did, whether you believe him or not, now he has in my eyes, like, I believe him. I'm going to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Because, as I said on the podcast, like, I've gotten second chances before.
Everybody has.
I got him.
Everybody has. I'll say this. I thought that my personal opinion was, I thought the interview was great for the community. Personally, I don't even think it needed to happen, because all he had to do was do his time, and literally that is it. I mean, follow whatever protocols they need to do. I mean, he didn't have to say, I knew what I was doing. I mean, that's what everybody wants to hear. I mean, like, they want to be like, well, did you? Well, did you? Yeah, I got busted. So yeah, I did. I mean, whatever. I think it was great for the community. Like I said, I think it was handled great. What I want now is people are going to be people, and they're going to draw a target on his back anyway. And I like the fact that in his mind, or at least what he has said in his quotes, is like, I don't care. Like, I'm here to do what I need to do. Okay, cool, man. So then do it, because that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
He's and
anybody else.
I mean, I if he makes it, he may be self-quarantined like Daniel Brandon on his own, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the athletes will think, if they'll be like, okay, cool. I don't see a whole lot of chumming around necessarily, but kind of like, who cares? I don't, not that matters. I hope from an analyst and a commentator sort of standpoint, I hope they come at him, because I think that in Ricky's case, that will be his best scenario. Because if he's counted as like, we're going to kick your ass, then I think that will boil him down to rugby roots. And rugby roots is physical. And if you're going to try and put me down, then I'm going to come right back at you, headstrong, head down, and try to bury my head into your ribs.
Yeah, you're talking about like man versus man.
Yeah. So
one of the most primal forms possible, aside from wrestling. Like,
there's a ball, sort of. I mean, whatever.
At the time, they're like, fuck that thing, I'm coming.
So I can't wait. I'm excited. So I thought that was awesome, dude. Like I said, if you guys haven't heard it, you have to check it out. I mean, it's only been posted and reposted, Morning Chalk Up and CrossFit Games, and it's been all over. So don't take the time to listen to it. Don't just take the quotes. Like, actually listen to it. It's good.
Yeah, I agree, because it's an hour and a half of Ricky.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about, I asked him every single possible question I could possibly think of.
You covered it.
I listened to podcasts of people leading up to it. I listened to like old interviews of like just YouTube, or like I watched random YouTubers in the space that had like 3 views on it, but I scoured the internet for everything about him.
Yeah.
And I try to ask every single question so that we don't have to ask anymore.
Yeah.
For his sake.
Yeah.
And you're right. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah, good for him.
I give him
That's
props.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
not
totally. Totally.
Oh. But here's the thing. For the drama aspect, just if I just want to put a fan hat on, I hope he's good. I hope he's
dude.
I hope he's great. I hope
Me too.
I hope he goes in there and just turns the world upside down.
I mean,
just as a fan, just
not totally. I mean, it would make it exciting. It would make it exciting. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because we'll see. But I'm gonna give him a chance.
I mean, dude, I'm excited because Dubai is going to be his first back onto the floor.
Yes.
And that will be a big one.
Well, Roman Karenikov is going to be there too. I mean,
yeah.
Here's some two athletes that don't get to compete at the CrossFit Games. One because one can't get a visa. The other one has been serving suspension, right? So there's two different reasons, but two athletes that we love seeing in major competition.
Well, and Roman, dude, I mean, he was such, every time he's been to Dubai, the dude has been a wrench in the system. I mean, he didn't win, but when it was his event, dude, you put the hammer down.
My only concern with Ricky is how he handles the emotions.
Yeah.
Of being back. Like, I remember being gone a year and my emotions going into the first event. Yeah. I can't imagine 4 years.
Yeah.
And people wanted me to come back. Like, imagine 4, just like all the.
It's going to be so interesting. It's going to be so interesting.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to have a human look. I am excited to see what he does. And if it all blows up in my face, fine. But I'm going to take the stances that I'm giving him a chance. I believe him and I want to see what he does. And I hope he's great.
Dude, there's no reason for anything to blow up in your face. Like, what can blow up in your face?
Like he tests.
So he sucks. That didn't blow up in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, again, of all the athletes that have been popped, who's tried to come back?
No one.
Exactly. No. So he's in it's not a lose-lose situation. It's a win-win. If he comes back and he's terrible, he's the only one that ever came back. If everyone's like, yeah, so you needed PEDs to do whatever. Okay. You thought that anyway. So again, what did you lose? Nothing.
You're right.
I mean,
was wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
wrong so much as a broadcast. I don't give a shit.
I think it is going to be. It's just going to be super fun to watch. It definitely and dude, I'll tell you what, man. Props to Dubai for picking him first to put him out there. Oh, man, all these people were all bent out of shape. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Screw you guys for thinking that it's a big deal. Right on. Like, I hit up those guys and I'm like, way to start the fire. That was awesome.
Oh, it's just for views and publicity. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, 100%.
No shit. What do you think they're doing over there? They're not running a charity. They're running a business.
You need to bring the most talked about athlete to your invite only event. Why? How can that not be
20
the move of choice? The move of choice.
They want.
It's not but even like it's not even that it's a publicity stunt. How could you not pick them? How could you not pick them? No, you can't not pick them.
The only other two that would be more like, would be Rich Froning or Matt Fraser.
Totally.
That's it.
Well, and we saw
Gerard is number 3.
Totally. Well, I mean, I saw Rich got picked for the Legends. So like, I saw that and I was like this. I'm like, oh, come on. Really? He's going to do an individual. Wait, no, he's not.
Yeah, he could win the regular individuals.
So he can be going side by side with Dan Bailey laughing at him as he's like whipping the dumbbell up over his head or something.
Like, enjoy beating up on Tommy Hackenberg, Chris Spieler, Josh Everett, which I can't wait to see.
No, the Legends. I think that's the best. I think that's the best part of the Rogue competition is because like if and for those, I mean, here we are way off topic right now, but for those that are,
whatever,
you talk about the staples of the sport, the foundationary blocks of our competition, of what we know as CrossFit competition, and it's that whole group.
Yeah.
I mean, whether they can move anymore or not doesn't even matter. And like, it doesn't even matter, because if it wasn't for them, this whole thing that we know would not be here. Like, that's how important that division is. And it's not, I mean, and it's,
and not just
talking,
the guys,
talking
like,
as a matter, not, it's not the being the age thing. It's who these people are that are coming out.
Well, on the women's side, you have Annie Sakamoto.
Yeah.
Tanya Wagner's.
Dude, Tanya. Back. It's awesome.
I love it.
So cool. It's so cool.
There's so many great names that are going to be a part of that. That you're right. It's not even about the competition. It's just about what they did for the sport.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That'll be it. We'll do an episode on that. What are we even talking about today?
I think there was a thing called the regionals. Yeah, 20.
That's right.
That one event. It's
that's
that one old event. 2016.
Yes, this podcast is actually centered around 2016 CrossFit regionals. Well, we'll take a look back and analyzing the programming.
Should we just chop that first part off and make that a whole other podcast? A response to
a Programmatron episode. That's you guys. Hey, whatever.
We got you.
We got you guys. Yeah, we wanted to talk about it. It was a big deal. It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Huge.
That us not, then yeah, I'm sorry. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Your opinion, even if it's wrong. But yes, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get there, as I'm stuttering, because I'm going to talk about Bubs. And Bubs is a wonderful job of keeping us young. Keeping my knees feel young, my skin, my hair. However, there's one thing it doesn't do for me that I just saw, because I haven't grown my beard out a little. It's not a lot, but I haven't gone this far in a while.
Yeah.
And I've got some pepperin in there, Billy.
Oh, dang. It happens.
Yep.
It happens.
Little Tony Stark here on the left side is creeping in through the red. I have a red beard.
Yeah.
And it's I saw a little bit. There's a little splash, little droplet.
I will say this. It happens.
Yeah.
I got some of that myself. I got a little.
About damn time.
It's in there. I think I got more in my beard than I do actually in my hair.
Do you have any in your hair yet?
Yeah, I got a couple on the side. A couple on the side over here.
I have one spot on the side of my head that I got in my first 6 months of owning the gym. And I feel like that was just due to stress, because it hasn't gotten any bigger.
Oh, yeah. No, I believe that. I totally believe that.
It's like if you put if you dipped your finger in bleach and just touched the side of my head, that's where it is. It's weird. Although my brother has the same thing, except he has like in 3 different spots. So I don't know if it's like a hereditary thing.
Maybe your parents just bleached your hair out and you guys didn't know it. They're like, we're going to brand these kids.
We were all a bunch of towheads as kids, though.
Really?
Like, we had white hair.
Yeah.
White hair. Now it's a bit darker. But we are also like in the sun. We lived in California. So if I spend more than 2 weeks in California, my hair gets so light.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh, my gosh. It's crazy.
I believe it. Yeah.
It's crazy. But you know what? Aside from the peppering, the body feels good. My morning routine is good. In fact, my morning routine is great thanks to Bubs Naturals. Go to bubsnaturals.com. Use the code GETWITH20. Get that MCT oil powder in your coffee, the collagen protein, the apple cider vinegar gummies. It is just a toolkit of deliciousness, good protein that you need for your body. It's good for the joints, the skin, the hair, the nails, your gut health from the apple cider vinegar, as well as the collagen protein. But that MCT oil powder, you could take a bad cup of coffee, add that to it, and now it becomes a great cup of coffee.
That's so weird.
Just because of what it does. It's amazing. Like I bought this new bag of coffee. I don't stick to anything yet. I don't have like a go-to. It's like random. I'm in this.
We still have to have, if any of you coffee people out there,
yeah,
you know what? If you want to hop on with the show here, because we're looking. Yeah. I mean,
we're talking about
we drink coffee every morning here. So
some of us 3 times a day.
Maybe. I don't know who you're talking about, but maybe.
But the MCT oil powder, how it just makes your coffee so creamy, non-dairy. So those of you guys like, I've never had cream in my coffee. Guess what? Go to Bub's Naturals. You have been missing out on life, my friend. The beauty of cream in your coffee. If you guys are lactose intolerant, just get on that.
There you go.
Make sure you use the code GETWITH20 for 20% off every order, every single time. So do yourself a favor and head over there, as well as do yourself a favor. Go to element26.co, element26.co, not .com. Use the code GETWITH15 for 15% off any CrossFit accessory you could possibly think of. Think of one in your head. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, they got it there. They got it there. But their number one item that we are in love with is their thumb tape. The best CrossFit thumb tape I have ever used. I've been doing this for 13 years. Bill has been doing it for 37 years. And it is
ish. Yes. It's probably pretty. Actually, it's really not that far off, actually.
But it wraps on. It's not hard. It's not thick like regular athletic tape. It doesn't overstick and leave a residue on your thumbs. It's made of this fabric that wraps easy. It tears quick and it stays on the whole time. Go to element26.co. Use the code GETWITH15 for 15% off. Bill, CrossFit just announced a new online competition that's coming up.
I did see that. Yeah.
Move, lift, work.
Yeah.
Move, lift, work.
Yeah.
A 3 event that can be done, they say, in an hour class.
Yeah.
Which we'll go through once it's all released. I think they've got 2 of the 3 released right now.
I gotta check it out because we're gonna put them in. We're gonna put them in our programming. Yeah.
We'll do it for sure.
Yeah.
At the gym. But obviously there's gonna be leaderboards. There's gonna be some type of prizes. Mm-hmm. So if you have a leaderboard prizes, then there needs to be proof.
Gotta have that proof.
Gotta have that proof.
Gotta have that WOD proof. I will say this. I have an exclusive amount of information here that I just got from the WOD proof guys.
Oh.
So they hit me up directly and they're like, Bill, we are bringing out our newest version of the WOD proof app.
Okay.
So they're going to have a whole new platform. They're going to have a whole new look. The gist of it is they want to have a greater community experience. So more ways to interact with other people, other athletes, other members, other events, other whatever together. So it is a big deal. And they've teamed up and they haven't told me yet.
Oh.
But they said that we'll be probably the first people to know, hopefully. My fingers are still crossed.
Exclusive.
That they have a female athlete that's on their team now that is going to be one of their big players in, presenting some of the workouts, doing some of the things, being able to line up next to her as far as working out. So I am super excited to find out who that might be. I can't wait to see what the new platform is. Cool. But it's coming out soon. They should have that actually set up any time now. So if you don't currently have that app, download that app. And if you want to really experience all that app has to offer, which is the templated programs that are on there for all kinds of stuff, whether you are a master's athlete, whether you want to improve your rowing, you want to improve your engine, you want to improve your gymnastics, you want to improve your weightlifting, you want to improve your crossfitting, you want to get better at eating nutritionally, whatever. They have these really nice templated programs out there that you can check out. As well as all kinds of community events that they do, community competitions to kind of keep you in the mix all the way through, as well as being able to utilize it as your proof and entry for all kinds of competitions. We're in the online competitive season right now. They have the Wadapalooza, events are out right now. Yeah. So if you want to hop on that setup, you have to use our code of GETWITH. And with GETWITH, you'll get 20% off a 3-month subscription, and it's already only $9.99 a month. So you get a 20% off each one of those months when you hop in and use that code of GETWITH. So check it out. Big things coming from those guys. We're stoked to be with them. So yeah, there's your complete setup. Body, mind, nutrition, competitive, boom.
Thumb tape.
Done.
Body, mind, gut, thumbs. All right, we are here for the Analyzing the Programming series number 1, the series that started it all, and we are taking our eyes to the 2016 CrossFit Regionals, which Bill did an extra amount of work before we did the 2015.
Yeah, man. I was already back then too.
Regional. So we will be doing that one today. 7 scored events, 3 days of competition, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as it has been for the last 11, 12, 13, 14, 55 years. This is year 6.
Yeah.
Man, we're cruising along. We only have 2 more years after this, 17.
Yeah.
Then the blip. Greg Thanos.
Then the old snap of the fingers.
Changed it all. So we'll kick things off with event number 1. And in years past, we say, 5 years up to this point, it's always been a very exciting event. More often than not, it's been a named event, like a girl benchmark workout.
Yeah.
Amanda, Diane, Jackie. And in 2011, it was running, rowing, and some handstand push-ups. Now we have a squat snatch ladder to kick it off. And it goes from 180, it'll go 10 down to 2, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 185, all the way up to 265, 20-pound jumps from bar to bar. The women start at 135. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Which is weird. Like way back then, that made the change.
Look at these weights. 180, men, 85, 205, 25, 45, 65. Women, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. Boom.
Exactly what it
How hard was that?
Yeah,
Good job. You did it.
We made it. We finally made it.
Finally. And some people got exposed, especially early on. And a lot of women did that just couldn't do the 135 opening bar.
Yeah.
Not your elite, right? But the bottom tier that have been kind of riding this wave of lighter weights for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Really got exposed in the beginning. And correct me if I'm wrong, but was there time checks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let me go down to that.
I believe there was you had to get done with certain time frames or else
10 squat snatches by 2 minutes, 8 squat snatches by 4, your 6 at 225 by 6, 4 at 245 by 8, and then your last 2 you had to finish by 11. So you were running basically a 2-minute time cap on each one of those. So you could bank time. I mean, if you were really, really fast on the 10, you had a little bit more time on the set of 8 as you were going up. But yeah, that definitely changed. I thought this event was great because we haven't had we saw ladders in the games, but we hadn't had it brought back into the regional level. Not like this. I mean, there was the muscle ups and then the cleans. There was that, but that was kind of like this was specifically lifting. Mm-hmm. And then now you had that time frame on it, and it wasn't just do one, it wasn't a speed ladder,
right?
There's a lot of volume at weight on this one. It was a unique setup for this system. And I think that, I mean, the pieces, the weight that they used, the rep schemes that they used, and then the time frame that they forced you in.
Oh yeah.
That trifecta was this was, I think, a great test to be who should be going to the games, because man, it shuffled a lot of people out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I think one thing we've seen from them, now they haven't always gotten it right, and they've kind of limited people's ability to actually lift a lot of weight based off, they had 3 reps only in one, 2 reps only in another. I think it was last year. And now you have this snatch ladder, squat snatch ladder. But the time checks, force, and intensity that these people probably weren't ready for when they practiced this. Although they did announce it, so they knew what was coming in. But 10 at 185 and 135 in 2 minutes is not slow.
No.
That's a rep every 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
That's a rep every 12 seconds. And that's just to get to the next bar, which is 205.
Yeah, so you don't get to really pace.
No,
I mean, unless you're like Sam Dancer or somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's like, damn it, I got to squat again. I could just muscle. But yeah, it wasn't fast paced, but it was super exciting.
Super exciting.
Very engaging.
I mean, there were so many athletes that, especially at that time, you know, there were only a select few that were, you know, cresting 285, cresting 295, 300 on a regular basis. The 95% of the field were not really doing that yet. So when it got to this 265, I mean, like I remember watching it like in our region, the Del Mar region. Right. Josh Bridges, like that was his max.
He PR'd
that was
twice.
His 1 rep max, and he PR'd twice. And I mean, and that's what we were seeing up until that point. You know, a lot of the athletes were posting this one because I want to say this was like one of the first workouts that were announced. So everyone started playing with it on Instagram. You could kind of see what people were doing. It was like, you know, you knew if you were going to come in or not. You knew if you were going to make it or not. And I mean, it was crazy.
It was. I thought it was great. I like how they put it first.
Yeah.
Because it was heavy. That's some high volume. I know it's only 30 reps, but it's 30 reps at heavy to like
80%, 85%, 90% of your 1 rep max.
105 plus, depending on who you are. So it's good that they did it first. They gave people an opportunity to start fresh.
Yeah. Where
you couldn't really like the draw of the weekend made people worse and it could have gotten dangerous. So I really like where they put it.
Yeah.
And so we said in event 1, they've had named workouts. Well, that goes for event 2, but we've done a beefed up version. And the workout that they're basing this off of is Nate.
Yeah.
I love Nate. That's a fun workout. And what that is, regular Nate is, and correct me if I'm wrong, 20-minute AMRAP.
Yep.
2 handstand push-ups.
No, it's muscle ups. 2 muscle ups.
4 handstand push-ups.
Yep. Kettlebell swing.
8 kettlebell swings at 70 and 53.
Yeah.
Regional Nate, they gave it 10 rounds, 4 strict muscle ups, 7 strict handstand push-ups, and then 12 kettlebell snatches.
Yeah.
First time seeing 2 of these movements with the muscle ups and the snatches at 70 and 53. And when I first looked at this, just like anybody, I was like, strict muscle ups. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's going to be a mess for the judges.
Yep.
But when I saw the kettlebell snatches, I was like, this is great. This is CrossFit's competitive answer for the kettlebell swing.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Just get the thing overhead. I don't care. Like making the thing is like, it doesn't have to stand straight up and blah, 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 all that crap. Like, thank God.
Yeah. So I thought it was I actually really like the kettlebell snatch as an alternative.
Oh,
to the kettlebell swing because it really does take a lot of the gray out.
Yeah.
Or the need for black and white.
Yeah.
What I did like is they made the time cap 20 minutes, and for just about everybody in the world except maybe Cody Anderson and a couple other people.
Yeah.
This wasn't a 20-minute AMRAP.
No.
It was brutal.
I thought it was. I will say this. On paper,
yes,
I think the workout, the event is amazing. I will say that for as good as the event is, it did fail with the muscle up, and that bummed me out because because on paper it literally looks amazing. Like and it sounds so stupid on paper, but like when all of a sudden you have to do strict muscle ups and then your standard for the strict muscle up gets so skewed and the amount of subjectivity is literally all over the board. The correction with the kettlebell snatches and how perfect that correction was for the kettlebell swing got completely effed up on the strict muscle up because that now turned into, well, what's the right? What do you mean it was a no rep? Why? whoa, you're this and you're swung too far and there was this little bit of movement and you leaned back too far and you didn't do it was
a
it
mess.
jacked it up and it sucks because it's so good. It's so good.
100% spot on. In a utopian bubble, this event is a great test. Strict muscle ups, strict handstand push-ups, and a heavy kettlebell snatch. Just upper body endurance to the max.
Oh, dude. If it wasn't so jacked up, I would literally put this as one of my top programmed coolest events of all time.
Wow. I mean, I really liked it too.
It's amazing.
But
the fall from grace is bad. It's a long ways down.
Right now. When you say on paper, because on paper, which is where all these things are made, they're written on paper, and you look at it, you're like, yeah. I look at it to where you take the best person who did this. 4 strict muscle ups. Okay, those are strict muscle ups. Super strict upper body pull strength, strict handstand push-ups, press, and then that kettlebell snatch just to throw everything off.
Totally.
Just screw up everything that you're good at, whether if it's gymnastic related. I did 10 of those. 40 strict, 70 strict, 120 kettlebell snatches. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
Yeah.
But when you put a bunch of athletes that, one, don't train that.
Right.
Like people just don't train strict muscle ups anymore.
Well, not that volume.
Then, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, not at that volume. It's like, okay, the last time some of these people probably did a strict muscle up was at their level 1.
And when they do the strict, what strict normally means in your home gym is not your big kip.
Right.
So it's like I'm false gripping and I'm still sort of kipping, but just not as much as I normally did. So that's obviously strict.
Yeah. And that was the part that really screwed this event up. And to not see that coming, I'll fault CrossFit for.
Yeah.
Not for what this event actually is on paper.
Yeah.
Like, all right, hey, everybody do strict muscle ups so we don't have to like deal with your bullshit. But that wasn't going to happen.
It just added a different bag of bullshit. Is what it did.
Right. And you take all these judges in at the regional level, they're all volunteers.
Yeah.
You have some staff in there and your main judges are staff, but it's like and you got people at regionals who are just fighting for their lives to chase their dream of just making it to the CrossFit Games, and they will do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And say you had 2,000 regional athletes. There's 2,000 different versions of a strict muscle up. And it just sucked for the judges.
Ugh.
And it took away from the event, and it just made it a mess.
Yeah. It was
Which
nasty.
sucks because, like you, I love this event as written. And if I were to do this, I would do it strict, and I'd probably have to do like 2s at the most.
Oh, dude. Yeah, for sure.
And not get a little extra oomph through the middle. Like if you do it right.
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine, just think about what round 5 is going to look like.
5. I don't know if I'd get to 5.
I mean, maybe your first like 2 rounds, like you're like, okay, real strict, like whatever. But like that, and that's what's hard is you when you're programming, especially for a race.
Yeah, you
have to think of every possible way someone is going to move to develop your standard, and I think that's one of the hardest things is in competitive programming, especially to get the most even playing field you can. You have to pre-test. I mean, you have to think like what do you think what is the craziest thing you think someone might try to do? Not that they're trying to cheat, but like, what do you think what are all of the possibilities? That's how you're going to figure out, okay, we'll cross these things out. We'll cross these things out. We'll cross these things out. Because I mean, we've all programmed for events, and there's always that one time where you're like, damn, I missed that one.
Damn it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now someone's doing it. It's like, well, what are you going to say? I mean, we've seen it happen in the CrossFit Games where all of a sudden that one thing comes up and then they walk out onto the floor and they go, up, that's a no rep now because,
yeah, sorry.
Uncommon movement clause. It's like, come on now. No. But that was too bad because it really, it's so good on paper.
Yeah. I think they should bring this back at the games on a Sunday.
You want to know how you could fix that?
How?
You put the plexiglass.
Yes. Okay.
In between on either side. So it's like you can't touch the plexiglass. You can move with anywhere you want, but you cannot touch the plexiglass.
Yep. That's exactly how you do it. And I was thinking about that too. That's so funny.
Done.
Well, I was just thinking about in front, but I did not think about behind. But you're right. You want to make this strict, then you're going to have you're going to be in this like hallway. Glass box of emotion. Basically, you're in a phone booth with rings in it. They should do that. Bro just makes it like this plexiglass phone booth, and they have to like slide the doors over and then get in, and then the rings are hanging in the middle. And then it's like operation.
Oh, wow.
Touch the back, the side, or the front with any part of your body. No rep. You don't even need to judge.
Nah, it's perfect.
Tell you what, if you can kip in this box, more power to you.
Oh, dude, you have it set up like fencers, like in the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
with a little tag, so you have something on you. So if you touch something, all of a sudden your whole front screen lights up with a big old X. No rep.
That's funny. I think this would be better served. I think this would be better served at the game when you have a higher caliber collection of athletes and a smaller like on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Bring it back.
I agree. Bring it back. That one's worth bringing back.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing to be in because like the way it played out, it was terrible, but the way it's programmed, it's great.
Yeah,
but I almost don't know how to judge it.
I will say this: I don't think even with the hundreds with the kettlebell swing,
yeah,
that I think for whatever reason, I think that this one in particular is more dramatic in the fact of how it is written and how it was performed. Like when it was written, it was like, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But this is like, dude, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And then you see it and you're like, oh, that sucks.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah.
You guys screwed it up. Stop kipping. And stop giving that guy the rep when it's way better than that guy's.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, that's a weird feeling on that one. All right. We move to Saturday and we have a 3-4. We've done this a few times now. And event 3 is 104 wall ball shots and 52 pull-ups. Now I'll let my OCD throw up on my own shoes and then I'll get back into analyzing. I think it's there for just like, nobody does that. It's just messing with people. But here's the best part. Bill, you ready?
I'm ready.
20-pound ball for the men, 14-pound ball for the women. Both going.
Target. There we go.
Target.
There we go.
You had us on event 1 with the weights, and now you bring it back with event 3. You guys are trying to sweet talk us to give you 2 thumbs up on this program. Sweet talk.
Where's your OCD on this one?
104 and 52.
Twice the number of pull-ups.
Yeah, but it's 104. Just make it 150. That's my OCD. Hey, Bill,
So what, you wanted 150 and 75?
No, I wanted 150.
Oh, 150. I got you. I
live my life in 0s and 5s, Bill. Stop it.
It's the same thing as 100 over 95, 70 over 65. It's just that. It's the last couple, man. You know that.
Well,
it's the last couple because this one, every single athlete that was out there, all the top end athletes, all could do those unbroken. And this is just more. Everyone will train. Everyone will train to 100. They'll train to 100. They'll train to 50. But they won't train just that couple extra more.
And I know that's why it's like that. I do. I'm just saying my brain.
I mean, thank God it wasn't like 51.
Well,
like 101, like 106 really, and 51.
Yeah. I accept it for what it is. I would just prefer a clean.
All right.
I know it's double or half.
All right. Okay. I hear you, dude. I
You
hear
had a
you.
6-minute cap that nobody needed, and if they did, they didn't belong there
Yep.
because it should just be unbroken.
Totally. The entire thing.
The entire thing. And you got 1 minute break after the cap. So you at the 7-minute mark, you did event number 4, which was 28 pistols, 15 power cleans at 115 and 80 for 4 rounds. Now this one definitely bothers me because all you had to do was make it 30. You did a great job of 104 and 52, and then you did 28, and you kicked me right in the D, and then just added an extra rep on the 4. Like, make it 14 power cleans.
14, I know.
Or whatever. But no. We have 28 and 15. You just pick one or the other. 30 and 15 or 28 and 14. Aside from my own issues with numbers, the back-to-back, the squat, the squat push movement and the pull, you hit all modalities there with, a decent set of wall balls and pull-ups right on the fringe of most people's max unbroken. And then follow that up with more squats in a single leg format and power cleans from the floor, which is a lot of posterior and pulling from the ground. It doesn't read sexy on paper like, say, Regional Nate does, but it's a good nasty. Like, event 4 broke people off.
Dude, this was
off.
This was a. I mean, you're right. Despite the number setup, this was a brilliant, because you did not see this one coming. Like this was you running full speed into a tunnel and having no idea what was in that dark tunnel because you couldn't see anything. And you just went head first. Like everyone crushed event 3. Like that was the race.
Yes.
And then it was like, all right, bitches, now let's see what you have.
Yeah.
And that whole, like, your legs were on fire. Your ass, your low back was just, your forearms were crushed on that part. I remember I did this one at the gym. And I flew through the first part. I did all those parts unbroken. I was good. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I got to the pistols. Halfway through, I was like, my legs were seizing up. I could not believe, because then on the cleans, you don't want to use your legs at all.
No.
So now it's all pulling, and like the lactic acid buildup that you have from event 3 did not leave your body in that 1 minute of rest. So it was like you were literally slugging through the mud, and it was nasty.
The event 4 was just a mess.
Totally.
Because of what everybody did in event 3. And I think if you looked at it a little bit more, like, oh, okay, I don't want to be a bitch and break up the wall ball shots, but I need to, because I can't do this unbroken and survive event 4. So I'm either going to, like James Newberry, what he did at the CrossFit.
Oh, yeah.
Ringer 1 and Ringer 2.
Yep.
Sell my soul in event 3 and get 100 points, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Yep.
In event 4. But as far as the makeup, even though there are 2 couplets that really have multiple facets of movement within them.
Yeah.
There's just a squat press with a wall ball shot, and it's a weightlifting movement, just the vertical pull from top down for the pull-ups, but it's a gymnastics. And then you switch the weightlifting squat movement to a gymnastics movement in event 4, and the pulling movement to a barbell movement from the floor up.
Yeah.
The lighter weight. I thought, again, if you were to just, like, I don't think anybody would pick this as one of their favorite events for any reason. But it's just one of those trap events that it's not sexy. It's just a good, gritty test of your fitness.
Yeah. It's very
probably never thought of.
Yeah, and again, here we are talking about like what it looks like on paper. This is the gray Acura, like the very boring, Honda Accord, whatever, that like you don't even notice. And then all of a sudden you're like driving off a cliff on that car. Like it's nasty. It is so nasty. That first event, everybody knows they can do it, and they sell their souls on that. And then everyone is just just rolled up on that second part. It's funny. You think about like, okay, they're both evenly scored.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do the James Newberry element on this, or Pat Barber or whatever, it's like you have to think, okay, where do you have the best opportunity? Like, where's the spread of people going to be? Obviously, everyone's going to be broken in event 4. So like, it's like, okay, if I go easy on event 3, or I try to just go middle of the pack on event 3, like how hard is middle of the pack on event 3? I mean, you're going to have everybody on top of each other,
That's tricky.
So like, it's like, it's a tough deal. It's a tough deal to try to figure out which one would be which one do you put like, where do you go all in on event 3?
I got a question.
Or on event 4?
Where would you do it?
Me, honestly, I'd go all in on event 3. Yeah. And the reason I say that is because I think because I can hang with everybody on those 2 events. And again, like if I can stay to the top echelon of that, where everyone else is pushing, then on the other part, I think that the field will get more spread out in event 4. Yeah. So that will be the one where it's like, okay, I can gauge middle of the ground. But the thing is, like, if you go, okay, I'm going to break up the wall ball shots twice. I'll break up the pull-ups twice so I can be ready for the second one. Well, you just went from the top 5 to like 35 out of 40.
Yeah, because everybody was going.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like you kind of don't have the option. So you have to go. That's what I mean. Like where it's very bottlenecky in event 3, whereas event 4 kind of gets spread out. But you really have to kind of figure out, like, all right, do I have the capacity to go unbroken on all those and still be okay? Yeah. It's a mess, man. I feel
like it's murdered people. The opposite of event 2.
Oh, God,
as far as on paper and what happened on the floor.
Yeah.
As far as the task is concerned.
100%.
Not like,
but yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I would for sure go for event 3.
Yeah.
Because even if I pace that out well, I'm good at both of those. Like, those are 2 very good movements for me.
Yeah.
Or especially back in 2016. Maybe not now. But there's no way, even if I mailed it in event 3, that I would be good at event 4.
Huh.
Like, so.
Well, there you go. There's your
like
answer.
My back would blow up if I did that. There you are.
Oh, are we back? Are we back?
You back?
Oh, yeah, I'm back. You got me?
I hear you.
You don't see me? I see you.
A little bit. You're breaking up.
Damn it.
I see and hear you, ish.
Am I all broken up? All right. I can't tell if it's on my end or your end. I can't tell. I can swap to
I think it's on yours.
Is it on mine?
Can you hear me? Hey.
Yeah?
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 Okay, recording is still in progress. If they shut down, we'll just link them together.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't push any buttons on my end, so I'll just cut in place.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that. Was really weird.
Yeah, all right, we'll keep going.
Huh, okay. Anyhow.
What?
Whoa.
Anywho, we'll do.
Sometimes.
Cut that out. But yeah, if I was doing event 3, which I would be good at least back then, I would do it all unbroken, no problem, because I could do Karen unbroken. So it's 46. Oh my God.
Hose and sex right there.
Wow. It's late. We're doing this one late. It's 9:30 where I am. 46. Wow. I'm going to leave that in there. That's real. What am I even thinking about right now?
Oh,
Looking at wall ball shots and pull-ups. 104, no problem. 52, also no problem.
Yeah.
Even if I mailed in 3, I would not be good at 4. That many pistols for me. What is it? 102,
32, 112, 18? 112.
Yeah, 112 pistols and power cleans at 15 for 4 rounds. My low back would not survive that.
Yeah.
I would go for event 3. Now, as we transition from event 3 and 4 to event 5, I mentioned my low back not surviving this. We go to event 5, which is 3 rounds, 40 meter run on a true form, I believe.
Yeah.
40 GHD sit-ups. Like, oh man, hey, it's only 120. It's better than 180.
That's true. You elite athletes.
120 GHD sit-ups. Now, we just hit 100 at last year's chipper. It was 100 GHD sit-ups in the middle of that chipper.
Yeah.
And then follow that up with 7 deadlifts at 405 and 275. And I was like, well, even if
I'm out.
I would be retired because I'd be like, run, sit up, and then I would be done. I would just wait until the 16-minute cap of the 3 rounds, and then it would be over. But think about what we just did. 104 wall ball shots, 112 pistols, 60 power cleans. And we're going to run, which is more posterior, especially on those true forms. We're going to do GHDs, which is just smoking your core. And we're going to test your strength with 7 deadlifts at 405 and 275. And 275 is a legit weight for the women, matched up with 405. It's a little bit lower than 70%, like 10 pounds. But this one, everyone's like, I mean, this was a huge strength test.
Massive.
Like I would say a strength endurance test.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, that number, man, at like you saw elite level athletes where also you saw whites of their eyes on this one. And I mean, I remember, I think up to this time, like Cole Sager, his 1 rep max was 405.
Oh, yeah.
There were athletes that would come to the floor and they would do the run, they'd do the sit-ups, they'd come to the deadlift, and they would stand there. That was it. Counting it out. I'm just going to sit here and watch. Maybe I'll do a couple, maybe. Danielle Brandon, when you guys were talking with Noah and you had Dave on the she said the same thing. She's like, that one. She called this particular event out and was like, that at the time, because like her back injuries or whatever, she's like, that was my 1 rep max.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to do it.
So this was very shocking. And this kind of played into the, the regionals is about going heavy. But I think what's crazy about that amount is all of the hinging and all the posterior chain and all the pulling that's been done. Heavy ass snatches, heavy single arm kettlebell swings where you're basically, you're hinging at the hip. You have all those power cleans. You have all those now GHDs where you're wrecking the one side, and then here you are having to pull the heaviest amount, at least at the regional level, that we've done, and the amount of weight that we've had to pull off the ground. And that was you saw a definite splintering of the group between your games level athletes and I really want to be a really good regional competitor at that point. Like the fence was laid out,
It's like there wasn't someone you could be like, you're going to be good at this. Even if it was elite games or not. Because of the deadlift. I mean, we've said this before. It's like, there's not a type. There's not. There's there might be like a bias of ability, but there's still just a bunch of weird deadlift freaks out there.
No, there are, totally.
And people that should be that aren't.
Totally get it.
Kind of a crapshoot.
But that's what I mean. Like this was, it's aggressively programmed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the other events up to this point, even regional Nate, it wasn't aggressively programmed.
No,
you can either do it or you couldn't do it. This was like, oh shit, okay, I can do that weight. I don't know if I want to do that 21 times.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the one where I feel like there's always kind of one in there where it's just like, boom. Like
This was the weight. Wasn't this the weight that
this was the Cinco.
What games? Cinco's weight. That's what it was. Yeah.
2012.
Yeah.
This match is the heaviest weight ever programmed in CrossFit competition.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the cool things about regionals is like, okay, you got to go to that level. You got to play in that cauldron, boiling pot of like, oh, are you ready? Try this on for size.
Yeah, you think you're ready?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I remember from this was Chandler Smith.
Oh yeah.
Like
right.
End of the third round.
That was kind of who is this guy?
That was his coming out party.
Yeah. That's right.
Doing well up into that point, but those 7 deadlifts that he like touch and go'd at the end and just pure manic. And I swear his hands were like a foot off center. Like that bar was all over the place. Like he couldn't go faster. He was going so fast and he was trying to go faster and it was like physically incapable of moving it faster. It was just so nuts and out of control. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? And
yeah,
now he's a Chandler Smith that we know today.
Now we know who he is.
This is I don't have any qualms with it. I think it's just a brutal test.
I think
of a lot of different.
You got your run, and this is even listening to like, Henshaw talk about the games this year when they did the run and the toes to bar, about the hip flexors and the running and all that. So you have hip flexor work into GHD, hip flexor work and midline, and then still having to support those deadlifts. Like this is a midline absolute. I mean, and I'm not talking midline like abs. I'm talking like entire midline, entire core, just being demolished, just being obliterated, all in one event.
Like, oh, you're strong. Well, let's just take all of your pieces.
How much support can we just blast out of you? Oh, and then lift heavy.
Because people forget how much low back can be taxed in running.
Yeah, totally.
Arch your back like you're not supposed to. You can hyperextend. So you hyperextend there. If you're running on a true form, it blows up your hamstrings and calves.
Totally.
Blows them up. And then the GHDs, as you said, your hip flexors. So they've taken away all of your core stability.
Yeah.
And now go deadlift 405 and 275 7 times.
I mean, it is a demonic setup. It really is. This, I mean, when Dave was putting this together, he was like, okay, let's see, how can I completely take out someone's midline? And that's literally what he did.
And he did it a little bit, as you said, the first 4 events leading up to that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Snatches pull from the floor for 30 reps, heavy. 120 kettlebell snatches, heavy. Wall ball shots, pistols, power clean. I mean,
yeah.
Jeez.
What core?
Oh, that's one hell of a way to close out Saturday. I can't imagine what they felt like going into Sunday. And you start off with a 1,000-meter bike. So this is our chipper. So we have our chipper event. And the bike for the first time. We haven't had the bike in regionals.
No.
So this is our first, and this is the assault bike. So 1,000 meters on the assault bike, also known as a trap. 100-foot handstand walk. 10 overhead squats at 225 and 155. You guys are killing it with the weights this year.
So good.
God bless y'all. 500-meter row. 50 burpees, which is funny that they just wrote burpees because they were anything but that. Let's say they were burpees over a box, but they were literally over a box.
Yeah.
You had to clear the box. And it was those black Rogue boxes, which are almost 2 feet long.
Yep.
Wide. And then followed up with the 5 overhead squats at the same weight. This was, and I'll say this for me, one of the more fun events I've ever done.
Oh yeah.
This was so much fun for me.
What was the funnest part? Like, what part did you like?
I don't know, because it's funny because the weight's heavy.
Yeah.
With everything that you're mixing in there. I would say bias fun, right? I'm good at biking. I'm good at handstand walks. I'm great at overhead squats. Rowing, no problem. 50 burpees over box clearing. I can jump. I can burp. Like, it was just fun.
Yeah.
This was just a fun event.
This one for me, what I loved watching was, okay, we already saw who could snatch. Mm-hmm. Saw that in the squat snatches. So we're basically doing same type of movement. It's just a matter of how you get it up there. And it really, from what I was seeing, because I remember calling this one, it was who could get into the overhead squat safest and quickest. Mm-hmm. And everyone wanted so bad to snatch it up. And I saw multiple people that were good at snatch. Kenny Leverage was one that comes to mind on that one, where he wanted to snatch it up and he missed it like once or twice. And if you do that, you went from I'm winning the event, I'm back at the end of the field now. And then you'd have guys that would do clean, jerk it up over the back, set their hand, boom, get it up. And then because they are set solid,
right,
they're able to hit all 10 in a row. Bam, 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 bam.
Anybody opted for the snatch
because they felt comfortable with the snatch. That was a part, like, it's like, oh, I can snatch 225. Okay, but look at what you have just done. And you just came off a 100-foot handstand walk. And you're going to try to rush that. Now, that's what that did. That snatch rushed the position.
Right. I'm saying they didn't need, like, there wasn't a time urgency that was necessary.
Right. I remember seeing
burpees over a box coming. Like, this isn't a sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's great was those last 5 overhead squats.
So much pressure.
For everybody. Yeah. The pressure, the fatigue, the rush, the missed snatches, people were just falling to pieces in 5 overhead squats, and it was beautiful.
Well, I mean, look at what you had. You had the handstand walks, you had the overhead squats, and no one really thinks about the pressing on those burpees. You had to push. Yeah. You had 50 times where you had to press. So now you're at the last piece, and now you have the pressure of the race. There are a lot less people that decided to try to snatch that last one. But the speed wobbles that were going on because the shoulders were just like wanting to give out because of the push, triceps that were just like smoked. So everyone's balancing that bar. I mean, like there was a lot of hanging on some joints on that one, hanging on some elbows. I think there were a couple people that got hurt on the elbow, just kind of like getting kind of snappy, kind of wobbly on that. But it's so cool. I mean, again, written super nice. Yes. It looks pretty on paper. Visually on the competition floor, it looked good how they would go down and then they would come back. Mm-hmm. The way that they would work that, it looked awesome. You're right. The energy as people were approaching that last bar, the crowd getting behind everyone and really pushing athletes to that, like, I mean, we're talking to the limit. I mean, how many people dropped the bar on 3 and 4? A lot.
Yes.
Way more than 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, super cool event. Cool event.
The number, like you said, the numbers, 1,000, 110, 550, 5. God bless you, Dave. And I think what was, and there's one caveat to the burpee over the box. We said they had to clear it so they couldn't touch it. That was really cool. First time we've seen that.
Yeah.
But the last 10 reps, they used a lower box.
Yeah.
They used 24 and 20. No, they used 24 and 12 for the women. That part
is it because of the width?
Nah, maybe. I don't know why. Because they couldn't flip it with an extra pad on it. Because I think for 20, they use an extra, or whatever. It was 24 and 12, which I was like, okay, that's dumb. And then the last 10, the men did it on an 18. and the women did it on a 6.
I remember Becca Voigt doing this one, and it turned into more of like a broad jump than a box jump.
I could see that because, like I said, it is wider, much
Yeah.
wider than a traditional box.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I think a traditional box is closer to 2 feet in width, depending on if you're using the 3-part one.
Well, yeah. Well, it'd be if you're doing the 24 inches high, it's usually going to be 20 inches wide because that's the 20 inside.
Right. Or it's the 30. So yeah, so it's not abnormal.
Right.
These Rogue ones were wider than that.
Yeah.
Approaching almost 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made the over.
I actually totally forgot about that.
Was gnarly.
Yeah.
But the way they did is they put it a lower box in the last 10 to lure people into moving faster at the end before.
And it did.
And I said it wasn't time dependent, but when you look at these movements with the caliber of athletes by this time sitting in the final heat, 1,000-meter bike, nobody went fast you weren't supposed to. So no separation. 100-foot handstand walk, no one separated. 10 overhead squats, no one separated. 500-meter row, no one separated because you're not supposed to go fast because they're waiting for the 50 burpees.
Yep.
And even then with the box over, you couldn't do some cute land on, step off, turn, whatever, Tabata, Chris Spieler, look at your watch kind of a deal that he did that one year, which is clever. And it all came down to you never went fast, but you never went slow. And then by the time you got to the last 5 overhead squats, you realized how hard you've actually been going steadily for 12 minutes.
Yep.
I love this event.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is. It's awesome. I like the fact that those overhead squats were heavy. That was kind of at that time, 2014, 2015, where you get those golden ticket kind of events, you know, the 30 muscle ups, those kind of things that they kind of hang out there. And it was 20 overhead squats at 225 and 155. Like that one, that's like, you know, Spencer Hendel was playing around with that one. You see some other athletes that were kind of messing with that. And so I love the fact that it was in there, and it's not like it's like 2. I mean, it's 15. It's a lot. And you just did a bunch of shoulder and a lot of push and a lot of support. Mm-hmm. I thought it was awesome. Again, programmed great, looked great. The races were great. Yeah.
The men and women are great. The time frame is classic 12 to 15 minute time frame.
Yeah.
You've got weightlifting, monostructural, and gymnastics twice through. This was good. And like you said, it looked cool. Not that it's a prerequisite of judging programming, but we finally had one that on paper and on competition floor and with athletes.
Yeah.
Money across the board.
Yeah, totally.
Great event. All right. Event number 7. It's been Fast and Furious 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It's 1.
No.
Last year was the muscle up clean ladder.
14 was also, I think.
14. Oh, the pull-ups and overhead squats.
Yeah.
And now we have, this was great. This is so fun. Basically, Fran with legless rope climbs. 21 thrusters at 95 and 65. 3 legless rope climbs, 15, 2, 9, 1. Cap was 6 minutes, but people were going Fran-like times.
Yeah.
Really? 2, 3 minutes most.
Yeah.
And it was push yourself to the red line as hard, as quickly, and as close as you can, and maybe it'll work out for you. Because for those athletes that were on the bubble,
I mean, Cole Sager,
that's what it took.
Yeah.
And this was when we really started having dramatic finishes, dramatic comebacks, dramatic falls, and not falls, like literally falling, like just falling out of the top 3, and dramatic controversies. Well, it wasn't really a controversy, but like, Elijah Muhammad got he got no repped.
Yep.
For squeezing his legs at the top at the South Central Regional.
one of the best rope climbers we have. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Evans, infamous
Yeah.
in that one.
Yeah.
But they were all legit calls. People were just pissed off because they like them. And they had everything on the line because they actually had to win those events, and they were in contention too. And they all got no repped on like their last legless rope climb, and they missed it. But this was great. This was fun. I did this one. This is one of those that we did like when I was after regional with the judges workouts. And there was no strategy. You either could hold on to the rope or you could not. And that was really it. Everything else was just, 21 thrusters unbroken, 3 legless rope climbs. Like, you can pace it, but you will not win.
Yeah.
And if you need to win, then you are just going to have to hope your gamble plays off.
Yeah, I like the fact, again, putting a Fast and Furious 1 in the end, it just ramps up the excitement. And for those that are riding on the bubble of trying to make it to the games, the epicness of what happens just goes through the roof. And that's epic successes or epic fails. Mm-hmm. I mean, the biggest one that I can remember, I mean, obviously you had, Jeff Evans not making it in, Elijah not making it in, but Cole Sager going from like 7th to getting in, or 9th or whatever he was going in. I mean, this was that event where
Con Porter,
they started calling him the comeback kid because of that kind of stuff. It's like, he doesn't have a shot. Like, he has a 1 in a million chance of making it, and somehow he does it, and he does it in like unbelievable fashion. It's like, how the hell did you do that? And he's like, I just stayed in my lane and I did. I mean, Cole does his Cole thing, and it's just, it really makes the event so exciting. But I'll say that, you look at this event in conjunction with all the other ones, like, what a perfect little cherry on top of this workout this workout Sunday. It's like amazing, simple, brutal, exciting, everything. It was good.
Just think about this Sunday alone. Event 6, you got the bike, you got handstand walk pressing, you got burpee gymnastic pressing, you have a row, whatever, and overhead squats at a heavy weight, but only 15.
Yeah.
And now you have this light thruster squat press and a high skilled gymnastic pull, low rep scheme, max intensity. It's just, it fits. It's one piece of the puzzle. Because even in event 3, the cap is the same, but it wasn't the same.
But see, event 3 had a caveat on it because the event 4 was coming right up.
Right.
This one you didn't. This was, I'm putting all my chips in.
Exactly.
That makes an event different. That makes your 6-minute time cap completely different.
Yeah, agreed. Because
your intensity.
I would say this: if it wasn't 1 minute rest in between events, then I would have a different opinion of the final.
Totally.
Because when you look
at it, that's pretty similar. If that's the case,
movement patterns, right? It's a couplet, it's a squat press, a wall ball shot is a thruster.
Yeah.
And you have pull-ups instead of legless rope climbs, so the volume is high and the volume is low, depending on the skill level. But the way you approached event 3, it was combined with event 4 into one big workout, even though it was 2 separate scores.
Yeah.
If they were separated like actual individual events, I would feel differently about event number 7.
I agree.
Because like
we just did this, right?
Yeah. we did this. Like, this is its weird cousin.
Yeah.
We've already done this.
Well, and it's kind of, if you're looking at it in CrossFit terminology, if you're looking the difference, you could have the same programmed event and change it to be based on either intensity or on stamina. If you're going to do intensity, you're going to break it up. So you have the going back and forth. Whereas the stamina, it's like, okay, you got to get all these done. Right. And then you got to go to the other one and get them all done. So, I mean, you can kind of play that game, but you're right. I mean, they're virtually the same. And it's not enough. The volume isn't high enough for if you're going unbroken, then you're really not talking stamina anymore. You're talking, intensity. So I mean, they are virtually the same. I mean, you're right. I guess a weird cousin is a good way to put that for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still like event 7 was faster than event 3.
Yeah,
way faster. I mean, way faster in a relative time differential. Like if one took 2 minutes and the other one took 3.5, that's faster. That's way faster based off. It's not just 90 seconds. 90 seconds, it's like 30% faster. Right. You look at the percentage base, but from what we've did, like think about you go to event 2, just like slow strength bias gymnastics, which is more just like fatigue and beat you down.
Yeah.
Regional Nate. And then you come to event 7, which is just like high octane full go, which, is different. I feel like we got a lot. We had a good blend of all different types of events from 1 to 7.
Yeah. Yeah. When you look across, when I look at the whole setup here, it has got to be one of the, at least up to this point, regional wise, the most technical, high skilled, high ability on all. You need high strength, you need a high gymnastic skill, you need high barbell movement skill, you need a high Olympic lifting skill, you need high specific gymnastics, whether it's burpees over a box where you have to jump over something, or you're doing strict muscle ups, or you're doing legless rope climbs, or I mean, you got running in there, you got biking in there, you got rowing in there. And like there is nothing that is mundane. I mean, you can say that event 3 and 4 seem to be very unassuming, but even those are not mundane numbers of volume or movements that are in there. It's like you must do these all unbroken. Now you're going to do pistols, a lot of pistols, and a lot of power cleans after all the other stuff we've already done. Like that's the most simple part, but the intensity is so through the roof.
Yeah.
That like it makes that very, very, very ugly.
Dude, I'm walking through these events based off their movements. Look at this. Okay, let's look at the weightlifting movements. Event 1, squat snatches from the floor into a full squat, like 80% or more for 30 reps only.
Yep.
Event 2, heavy kettlebell snatch, high volume from the hang to overhead.
Yep.
The complete opposite positioning, right? Event 3, full squat to a throw, high volume, lightweight. Power clean from the floor to the shoulder, moderate volume, moderate to lightweight. We've hit 5 different movement patterns with 5 different weights in 5 different volume sets.
Yeah.
And then you go to event 5, and now it's just from the floor to standing at the heaviest weight with the lowest rep scheme. And then you go to event 6, and now it's over your head, and you squat it. And then event 7, you just have a thruster. Look at the breadth of weights, reps, movements. Ground to overhead in one movement, hang to overhead with no squat, squat to throw, pull to the shoulder, pull off the floor only, overhead squat, and a thruster through the middle. Wow. I don't know if it's late or it's actually this good, but that's the most balanced weightlifting collection they have ever programmed at regionals up until this point that we know of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now look at the gymnastics. You said strict muscle ups. So strict pull with a little press, strict handstand push-ups, pull-ups, just chin over to the bar. So low skill, high volume, pistols, squatting, no weight, GHD sit-ups, core, handstand walk, walking, burpees and jumping, different, and a legless rope climb for 6. What else do you put in there?
Yeah, what would you put in there?
What did you miss?
I mean, literally, The only movement that we did not have in this year was double unders.
Right.
I mean, maybe like you could say like some dumbbell stuff or whatever, but like you got the kettlebell snatches that kind of would do that. But I mean, like, what else is there? There isn't anything else to add. No,
No.
there. It's not. I mean, maybe you could argue the time domain. Maybe if you really wanted to push it.
Okay, well, let's look at event 1. It was 11 minutes. Most people, let's say 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Event 2 is 20. Everybody got capped. Not everybody, but it was
majority.
a 20.
Yeah, 20-minute workout.
Event 3 was 4 on average.
Yeah.
And then event 4, 8 to 10 again. Even though a lot of people got capped there. But you put that together, right? Even it's 2 separate, it's still that mid-range.
Yeah.
Event 5, 16 minutes. I feel like most people got pushed to the brink, so 12 to 15 minutes as a range. Event 6, I feel like more people did better than they thought they would do, but that's a very similar time frame, which is okay. One's a 3-rounder, one's a chipper. 12 to 15 minutes is a classic CrossFit time frame, so there should be more than one in that when you have 7 of them.
Absolutely.
And then event 7 was 2, 2.5.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Well, I mean, what I was saying was you could argue, okay, well, 20 minutes, that seems like the short end of the quote unquote long one. But like that's a stretch. Like this is like you're nitpicking what it looks like. Now I will say this. As we get towards, we're at the end of the going over everything now. Like I already know how I'm going to judge this.
Okay.
And I'm honestly going to judge for the most part based on what it is on paper. I know that there are some things that we talked about what happened when it actually showed up on the floor. Yeah. And I don't even think that those things that happened were detrimental enough to knock this down. Like where we talked about the kettlebell swings in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Being a big deterrent to what was going on. Like that was a sore issue. I think that standard, there was more subjectivity in that, and I'm talking across the board with everybody, rather than the strict muscle ups. Because there was a lot of like, you either had them or you didn't have them.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people like, okay, well, these 2 people are getting them because that judge letting it go. But it isn't like it was everybody was doing something different. It wasn't so, it just didn't seem so bad. And I think it was because the numbers weren't that high. Granted, it's 40, but it wasn't 100 that you had to deal with in the kettlebell swings. When I look at this, I mean, dude, is it my turn to go first?
I think it's mine.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you go then. I'll let you go ahead and go.
I'm finding it really hard to not give this 2 thumbs up. After everything we just said, we walk through the weights, we walk through the gymnastics, we walk through the monostructural, we walk through the time domains and the movement patterns and all this. Like you have 3 push, 3 pull, 1 squat, 1 core, 1 jump in gymnastics. What more do you want? Like we can't add anything. There's nothing I can add into this, save a double under. Right, but where do I put it?
Right.
That improves this programming. And to look at what happened on Regional Nate, it wasn't as much of a shit show as the kettlebell swings were. And I think that's what you were talking about.
Right,
as it was.
Right.
It was still a shit show. We'll say that. But it wasn't a product of the programming. It was a product of the application of it being tossed on a large amateur group of athletes.
With amateur judges.
With amateur judges, right? Like you could, if they had quality judges out there, they would have all been out there and nobody would have gotten reps.
Right. Right.
It was like, oh, this is so dumb. You're like, yes, but the same number of people who wouldn't get a strict muscle up were probably the same number of people who didn't get a deadlift.
Yep. Yeah.
You can say deadlifting is stupid.
Right.
I don't like deadlifting, but I think it's a necessary movement, and it's heavy. Like that's a movement that it's meant to be.
Oh man.
I'm gonna give this 2. I haven't given it 2 yet. I've been waiting for one that really needed to check all the boxes, and I can't find something other than what other athletes did to the programming that the programming didn't cover.
Yeah.
And so for me, up to this point, I give this 2. I think this is the best regional programming we've had since 2011.
Yeah. After all the discussion, like I don't even need to go back and rehash all the stuff that you just said. I totally agree with that. It is the most complete. It's the most technical. It's the most demanding. It's the most well-rounded. It's the most fun. Like I said, like you look at these events, and you're like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks cool. Even the heavy ones, like even still, like if you put it into the right, percentages for people doing it, it's like that's still an unbelievable workout. Like I said, Regional Nate, as much as it was what it was on the floor, on paper, it is I think, one of the coolest events that we've had as far as uniqueness and like, oh man, we are really testing them now. Like that's cool. I like, you can't get more than that. You can't, there is nothing else to add. There's nothing else to put in. Even though this is in the realm of the open was light and fast and the regionals was just supposed to be heavy and the games gets whatever, this is complete. And I agree. 2 thumbs up. I don't think I would have thought what a 2 thumbs up would have even looked like.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
But you would be very hard pressed. Like the arguments that you would have, I think, would be so minute that it's like you are just saying that you don't like the font of the writing of this particular event on the paper. Like that's the best. That's really the best you could come up with. I mean, I really, everything, weights, rep schemes, rounds, time domains, the way the put everything. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Strong work, Dave. Strong work, man.
Every event looks fun.
Yeah. And not even, it was funny because that's not an important thing. Like no one should care.
Oh, yeah. But like,
gosh, dang, they look good.
Sexy.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh. But it's more of like, damn, I don't want to do that because I know it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But they were fun. They were fun to watch. There's nothing not fun this entire weekend except the event 2 of just watching people get through that.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Could you say this was a CrossFit Games? Would you be comfortable saying the person at the end is the fittest on earth based off this test? Is that a 2 thumbs up for you?
I think.
Or would you like to see one?
There would need to be a long one. Okay. Yeah. There, like I think that there would be a couple things that would be missing, but I would say that I mean, if you have the best of the best all competing, this definitely will test all of those pieces. If you're talking energy systems and all of that, I mean, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour and a half. I mean, like technically you're in the same, you're in that same realm by definition. Now, granted, I would not say that a hour and a half workout is the same as a 20-minute workout, but I think it's a pretty good test. I would be comfortable saying it. Yeah. I think that you would probably find the right people in the right place. Yeah.
What if you took the time cap off of it too?
I think that would be the wrong event to have as your long event.
Okay.
I think that the long event should not be one where people are standing there looking at the wall or looking at the rings. It should be one where they're working for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, a run, a row, something in that effect. I mean, if you were going to go that route, I would probably,
if you put in 48 double unders
on regional Nate.
Yeah.
I still think that you'd be hung up on the muscle ups. So I don't think that I don't think that time domain would be really in the realm of what we would be trying to test with a time domain like that.
Okay.
But I would say this. I would say of all the ones we've had, closest by far.
How about, and I'm just spitballing just because I think we could, if we modify event 2 a little bit, 10 rounds, make the muscle ups 2, the strict handstand push-ups 8, keep the 12, and then make the double unders like 50.
Way closer. Because then you wouldn't be hung up on the muscle ups. You could get through those muscle ups.
Yeah.
The athletes would be able to get through that, and then you still have that longer monostructural element to it, even though it's broken. I mean, it's 50. That's not a big deal, but you're looking at 500 over the course of, which is now a different setup. And that was very similar to that one open event that had the muscle ups, the pull ups, the overhead squats, the double unders all over the place. I hated that one.
100, yeah, the 120, 120.
Yeah, that one. And I mean, and that was a long one. And that would be in that realm. And I'd be like, okay, that's cool. I still think that we would need a longer, more of a single monostructural type event just for that testing, for us to really, again, would I feel comfortable? Sure, I would feel comfortable. If we were trying to present this athlete to the world as the fittest, I would think that we would need to have a longer event in there, like a true long event.
I would rather add an event than modify any of these.
Exactly. Yes. That. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'd agree with that. I totally agree with that. But again, like, could we take the fittest as 100%?
I feel like at the end of the day, you'd like this, whoever won, you'd like you are.
Yeah.
Like,
because you don't need to have a marathon runner or someone that's going to win a half marathon row to go, okay, well, now that you have that, now you're, right. I mean, that would complete the picture, but I don't think that one event would all of a sudden change the leaderboard that drastically. I don't think.
I'm trying to think of what that event would look like based off what we've done, and I can't really think of it.
I honestly believe it would have to be something like the triple threes.
Oh.
Like if that was in there, then at least you would have your monostructural piece. You'd have that long duration. You would have that, and that would check those boxes, I think.
Yeah. I think that would do it. I mean, yes, we row again, but it's only 500. We'd run again, but it's only 1,200. It's in 400-meter marks. And
yeah.
So what is that? 3K row, 300 double unders, and a 3-mile run?
Yeah.
I mean,
if you add that, then if you put that in there, really, what else do you need?
I think you put that on day 1 too. Because you have the squat one, it's really the strength one. Event 2 is super high strength endurance gymnastics.
Yeah.
I think you put that as you put that as like the final event of day 2. Then you wake up Saturday morning and you just get kicked in the junk with ball shots, pull-ups, pistols, and power cleans, and then hit in the back with a metal bat.
We're in the realm now of 15 events at the CrossFit Games. That's the era that we're in, 14, 15, somewhere around there. If we were to put the triple threes on in this setup,
it'd be fine.
The only then you're just missing a pig or a slug or a weird thing, but like that is it. We just tested everybody in 8 events. We just pared it down.
You put in triple threes, and I could sit back in 8 events over 3 days and be like, these are the fittest people in the world.
Totally.
I like that. Yeah. That was a fun little turn. I don't know. I was just curious.
Well, I mean, but it's so good though, man. That's our first double 2 thumbs up.
Double thumb.
Element
26. First ever 2.0.
Boom.
Wow. I was wondering, you're right. I've been wondering what it's going to look like because I've had a 1 3/4. And I was wondering what a 2 is going to be.
Well, I will say this. I did go, like when we did the 2015, I was thinking we were doing this one. Yeah. And I remember looking over this and I was just kind of thinking about the events. I in no way, shape, or form thought that it was going to be a 2
No, I did not think about this coming in at all.
At all. Like that was not on my notes. That was honestly, not in my notes.
We got to like 7 where I was like, oh, wow. And I forgot how much I loved 6.
Yeah.
A lot of it's personal bias. So I'll just preface that with a lot of these things all these things are things that I like and I'm good at. So of course I'm naturally going to gravitate towards that.
Yeah. But you didn't at all balk about anything with event 5, which is the antithesis of events that you don't like, which is with the deadlifts. And so, but you look at what that is and you start dissecting what that is.
Yeah.
And then you put that puzzle piece along with the other puzzle pieces. So again, whether you like the pieces or not.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I like overhead squats too. I mean, they're like my favorite movement, that and pull-ups. Right. So, but that doesn't mean that I like event 5. That's rad.
Dude, I tried this one just so I had some context. When this event got released, I did 1 round and like 2 deadlifts in the second round. But I had a top 10 time in event 6 though. I crushed that one.
Did you?
Failed no reps.
Yeah.
0. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
So to my credit, I did event 5. I tried it and it was awful.
Yeah.
Well, I was awful at it. Well, that was cool, man.
That was good. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Super wow. 2016. Who knew?
Man, I didn't.
I forget what these events were. I forget how they're compiled. All these fresh emotions are coming up when I'm looking at the programming and what it was and what it looked like and how it reads. That was great.
That was good. That was a good one.
2017, 2018. You got
some shoes to fill.
Step it up. You don't have to step it up. Just like, and the other thing too was that the weights between men and women were even.
Everything was done right.
Wall ball height. The boxes were a little low for the burpee overs, whatever.
But you're right, and I totally forgot about that. But the intent of that, for the purpose, we want to draw you in. We want to gas you before you have to do this final set of 5 because you're gonna be stressed to do the last 5 anyway.
Yeah.
But now I want to make sure you're tired.
Yeah.
So we're going to lower these boxes. So come into my web, says the spider to the fly.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like this isn't supposed to break you off. It's actually supposed to make you go faster, to screw you up with the 5 overhead squats, and it worked.
So it was the intent. You could tell that wasn't a mishap or an accident. That was a plan. Like there was a specific deal going on with that, which is rad.
That was cool.
Yeah, great. Dave, thumbs up, Dave. 2 thumbs up, Dave.
2 thumbs up for our Element 26 thumb tape review.
Yeah.
First one. I don't know if I'm going to give another one. I mean, although we said it's hard to compare region to region, year to year, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What did you guys think? Let us know if you've gotten this far.
You've been hanging out with us for all this time.
Later. Oh, well, thank you guys for lasting this long, sticking with us the whole way through. But man, this was just really fun.
Yeah.
Really
nice
fun.
job, everybody. Way to hang in there.
Thanks for hanging in tight. 2016, 2 thumbs up. 2017, we shall see.
We'll see.
Shall see. You guys have a great weekend, everyone.
Later, everybody.